For a second, I want you to think of your favourite game of all time. When I ask people this question, most of the time these games are quite old and not very recent. But is that just because of nostalgia, or is it because of modern video games' slow decline? Don't get me wrong, there are some modern classics such as PUBG and Fortnite, but I think recently video games have just not been as fun as they used to be. Gone are the days where I can switch on my Xbox after a long day at school with my mates and just have a laugh, but now I feel like most video games, especially multiplayer, are taken very seriously. This is due to the massive increase of popularity in esports, and many gamers want to be the next big thing. But personally, as a gamer myself, as a casual gamer, I don't think this is the right path video game companies should be going down, encouraging competitive esports. Most likely this is going to be a drop off of casual gamers in the next 5 years, as esports is pushed on many video games that weren't even competitive beforehand. Now in the past year, and especially during this lockdown period, I've got into Call of Duty a lot more, and after my first 2 wins I found out that skill-based matchmaking was in the game. And for me this ruined the game completely, because every single gunfight I got in, I felt stressed out and I felt like I just wanted to get off the game completely, just because how hard they were. And for a professional gamer that sounds really good because it really challenges you, but for the casual player base, the majority of people who play video games, I think it is detrimental to the gaming community. I think the minute you take gaming too seriously is where it becomes less fun and more like a chore, and where you're going on video games just because you need to instead of if you just want to. As an example, I'd take FIFA and Fortnite into this category of games which have pushed competitive gaming too far. Fortnite for me in seasons 1 to 4 was probably one of the best multiplayer games of the last 5 years, and the minute it got taken too far with the Fortnite World Cup and Arena, I think that's when the game died for me. Since FIFA 15, the FIFA franchise has been on a steady decline, but with the addition of Weekend League in FIFA 17, a 40 soon reduced to 30 game tournament every weekend with rivals to qualify, this made gamers take FIFA too competitive and too seriously. And it doesn't help with these money hungry companies and how much esports makes for them. I'm really not expecting any video game company to be listening to me right now, but I'm switching on my Xbox and I'm switching it straight back off about an hour later, because video games for me have got repetitive and boring and I just want something different. Back on the topic of people taking games too seriously due to video game companies pushing it on them, but this causes people to become toxic and overly annoying just for the sake of it. I think over the last few years toxicity in games has increased a lot just because of how competitive games actually are nowadays. I'm obviously not a video game developer and I'm obviously not going to have any influence to video games, but as I've seen in the past few years, I think if video games wants to improve, they should stop coming out as frequently, stop having as many updates, and I think they should stop pushing the competitive play onto their casual players. I think every video game needs players that are good at the game, but I think video games are forcing people to take the game too seriously, resulting in people not having as a good time as they should be. Me and myself have been feeling burnt out on games recently, and I cannot imagine what it is like to be a professional gamer in the climate which is now. In conclusion to all of this, I think personally video game companies, if they want to make more money off their games, they should be catering for the casual players and not the professional gamers that play day in and day out. As I said before, this creates a toxic environment for the majority of the player base of video games. And that pretty much wraps up my first video, so obviously thank you for watching. Only subscribe if you like the content, and I'm going to be posting weekly videos from now on during lockdown and when I have the time to. So all I can do is say thank you for watching the full video, and see you next time.